Welcome back to Filter Coffee Football. Another win for Arsenal, 2-1 again this time around. More strong mentality after some questionable decisions, I guess. So yeah, we're not going to talk a whole lot about the actual result today, but let's start with the most important takeaway from this game, right? Let's talk about that mentality of Arsenal to go down and then come right back.
I think that was what was needed, a kick in the back. Maybe that goal was a kick in the back for the team because we are probably fluffing some more better chances and not being direct in our attack. And Villa being playing their usual choppy style of football where if they can't get close, they'll hack you down. I think Steven Gerrard has just instilled that mentality right now. I had better opinions of him, but now it's completely changed.
Yeah, Steven Gerrard definitely not turning out to be the manager that I thought he was. I mean, the goal was also very. Let's talk about that. I mean, in my books, that's a foul. Okay, now VAR took a look at it. The referees took a look at it. I guess somewhere in the book, the justification is the player is standing his ground. Ergo, that is not a foul. But what happens to goalkeeper protections at that point? Like, what isn't that the whole point? Is that you're
That's a
supposed to protect the
violation.
goalkeeper?
It's
You
an
can't
actual.
come
It's
you
an
can't come
actual
that
violation.
close to a goalkeeper. You can't be that physically close to a goalkeeper.
Unless you're shielding the ball. Unless you're shielding the ball, or unless the ball is in your play area. Both of which were not. And these are rules from IFAB updated to 2022. So I'm not just pulling something off of thin air and throwing it in here. This is IFAB rules. But again, the Premier League has its own rules. The referees live in delusion. So
I cannot. I mean, even when I saw the replays, I was like, how is this allowed to stand? Like, what is going on over here? Anyway, the goal stood, and luckily that did not cost us the points. But I am still quite annoyed by how that does not get called off. I mean, coming back, we showed the true grit, we showed the true mentality, and arguably another save that Emiliano Martinez, yes, Emi Martinez should have made. So that's two games back to back now where both of our ex-keepers have essentially helped us a little bit getting those 3 points in. Not that we didn't deserve it, like you mentioned. We missed a lot of those chances. And the next point that I want to talk about is about the player who missed a couple of those chances is Bukayo Saka. I mean, you and I have been on opposite sides of this situation where I feel that he needs to just sit on the bench for a game. I think he's been running into the ground too much. I don't know what it is, but his game just isn't in sync with the rest of the team. His passes are not quite crisp. I mean, that apart from that one pass for Martinelli, which sealed the win for us. Apart from that, his game was really choppy. He missed basically two sitters in the match, which I feel like we should have already been 2-0 up by the time Jesus got his goal. The next match coming in up against Manchester United, I feel like it makes sense to keep him on the bench, bring him on if we need to, if the attack doesn't work. But I mean, again, Nketiah coming on does really well. Martinelli is on fire. Jesus coming in and grabbing a goal. I feel you can just start Martinelli, Nketiah, and Jesus, and if things don't work out, you always have the option of going back to the bench. But yeah,
maybe that's an option, but not for the United game. I really want to see Emil Smith Rowe starting because he's been better against them. Do I see him playing right? Maybe. But I don't know how much risk tolerance Mikel Arteta has, and I haven't really seen him experiment as much apart from last year where he did. And you also say that don't change a winning combination, right? Or at least till the point when it's working.
yeah.
So
I mean, again, this match, I was hoping he'd try something a little bit different. I mean, we know Ben White is a great passer of the ball. I thought he might actually try and play him in the defensive midfield position alongside Xhaka, kind of give him a little bit more of a progressive role and have Tomiyasu come in as the right back. But he chose to stick with Sambi and kept White on the right side. So clearly, like you said, Arteta is not really trying to change a whole lot in that team. He feels like he's found the perfect position for every
unnatural.
player on
Yeah.
the pitch, and he wants to stick to that, which is again fair. Clearly, it seems to be working so
Establishing an
far.
identity, yeah.
Exactly. I am demanding a little bit more of Saka now. I do need him to step up a little bit more. He needs to get that. that game going on. But yeah, overall, your verdict on let's actually talk about your verdict on Aston Villa. Where do you see them ending this season? Our predictions had them fairly higher up. I think
Yeah.
we thoroughly
Well,
overshot.
yeah, I would think Steven Gerrard getting sacked by January if the results continue this way. This form purely looks like relegation form. I don't see an identity now. I don't see the flair. I don't see Coutinho or Buendia or anyone making that difference.
No, I agree. Steven Gerrard probably looking at the sack in my books as well. Let's see how long he survives, and let's see how long Villa survives. The whole reason they sacked their previous manager was because they weren't able to break into the top half of the table. So, yeah, let's see. Arsenal win again, a 2-1. Again, still top of the table, 5 from 5. Come on, you Gunners.
Keep that going. Knock on wood.